Now, I'm glad they put out that study. I mean, because I used to see people talk about
the people who love,
who are infatuated with celebrity, essentially. Yeah. I mean, like, how many fake Beyonce pages do you have to see to realize these people have some type of mental issues?
Look, my experience.
Yeah, you might want to cut that out. It might come.
No.
You never want to go at the Beehive. I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, well that was him. So when y'all come and bring the attack, it was him. But at the end of the day, me personally, I can't see why I would just be so infatuated with a celebrity in a sense that I can't talk to. Like, let's say, for instance, we all know certain niggas love Nipsey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like no sick-ass shit, you feel me, to where it's like, oh, I'm worrying about his relationship. I need updates on his relationship. I need updates on this and that. It's like, nah, you just rock with that nigga message.
Yeah, people were willing to fight when Kodak Black, said disrespectful stuff. But I'm like, yo, it's like, he's a rapper and he's on drugs, but listen to the music and he says a bunch of dumb stuff. So it's like, why do you feel like he should be a respectful individual in this situation when his whole musical career is based on disrespect of everybody?
But I think the main thing is people got to ask themselves, why do you constantly need to be engaged by other people living to their full potential and then you never do shit? Like, all right, G Herbo and his girl just went to Honolulu. I'm the type of nigga like trying to figure out, of course, I follow Herbo. Like, that's the end of that. Now I'm like, yo, that's a dope spot. Let me figure out how I can get there. Let me go learn about the place. Let me go make some money so I can get there. Oh, it's going to cost for me and my girl $2,500, blah, blah. I'm on that. I'm not finna just keep, okay, what they doing next? What they doing next? And just following every step. That shit just don't make sense. It's not entertaining to me watching somebody else live their life.
Well, some people feel that they can never be great. They don't feel that they have any greatness in them. Some people tell you, everybody has $1 million, you just got to pull it out of them. Mm-hmm. But you could tell this to people and they'll say, no, I don't.
No, yeah, I have a coworker, and it's a person I really, respect for what he do at work. And then we was on like place with a whole bunch of big houses. And I asked him, I said, yo, why you never felt like you was going to get one of these? And he just said, yo, I believe in myself doing this, but I don't believe in myself to risk to do what you need to do with that. And I said, I respect that answer.
For real, Ricky Ross said, it's two people. The people who say they can and the people that say they can't. And both of them right.
All the time. With that being said, welcome back. First episode of the year. First visual episode for Guns and Butter. It had to be this nigga. Why? Because we are in the same mafia. We can't mention the name because of indictment reasons, but let's just say we roll together. This is somebody I'm always happy to be around. He's a motivation. He's the good level of counter what you thinking is right. And he'll tell you in a harsh way because it ain't right. And you'll go home and think about it and like, I need to fix that. But we have that kind of relationship. So I got to start the year off with one of my niggas, Dr. Randall Thompson, Miami Spine.
Miami Spine. Some people know me as Miami Spine. Some people know me as Rand. Some people know me as Doc. I won't speak about my old Twitter. That's my burner page now. So if you want to follow me, it's at Miami Spine Rand. TikTok, Miami Spine Rand, I believe, too. Instagram, Miami Spine. YouTube, Miami Spine. YouTube ain't kicking off, but I guess I got to get going for 2022. That's my new goal, to get my YouTube going. I got my TikTok going. I'm not dancing. I'm not wearing wigs or anything like that, but I got some good content.
What if I told you this week when I was getting ready for this and the other stuff we be talking about, that was the main thing I was going to talk to you about after this meeting?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I'm not wearing a wig.
No, about YouTube, not wearing a wig.
Oh, dancing?
Nah, man.
Not dancing.
Well, we ain't going to tell them the plan. Like, motherfucker, we just going to get YouTube popping. We're going to find a way to popping.
Yeah, we get YouTube popping.
So, Miami Spine, you're a chiropractor. We're going to start the interview off with the particulars. Who you are, what made you, how did you get to this point? So we'll start off with, just give us a short intro.
Chiropractor based in Miami. I've been practicing for 10 years now. I was working under my dad. Well, not working under my dad. I was working with my dad in the same space. I've been working with my dad my whole life. Took 10 years, and I said, you know what, Pops? You got this location. I'm going to get another location. See if I can do some things differently, and this is where I'm at. 1 year, almost 1 year in this space, and it's going wonderful. Thank you for everybody that came and trusted me with their health care. I thank you for everybody that they just came out to just, even some people just come to just see the space, some people just come to just watch other people get adjusted. I'm glad that I could make healthcare in a sense cool to some individuals, because people think of practitioners and they think it's just some geeky white dude with sitting in a corner, but it's not like that. It could be whatever you want it to be, whether you feel that chiropractors are physicians or not. Because, boy, I get some slack on TikTok. Yeah, anytime I post something, golly, they want to say, you not a doctor, you not a what's a chiropractic physician? Bro, I do not feel like running down the list of all the classes I took, all the tests I took.
But it's more of the angle. It's like, there's no chinks in the armor except saying this ain't traditional medicine in that sense. But if that, like, to me, that don't mean nothing,
right?
Because again, I witness your level of understanding of biology outside of just your particular trade. So I'm like, he knows about the body and health, so he ain't just pulling it out of the air. He's actually using science with this.
Correct. I mean, I have a degree in biology. I have a minor in chemistry. So, and I watch people be like, oh, well, you're not this. But this person couldn't even handle my undergrad major. You think they can handle my professional school?
Exactly.
You know, you bigging up this person. I never seen a chiropractic school go to nursing school. I mean, a chiropractor go to nursing school, but I have seen the opposite. So people have respect for nurses, but they don't have respect for chiropractors.
Right.
Right. So, but that's neither here nor there. We ain't gonna talk about that because that's a long rabbit hole of weird.
It adds on to the legend and the mystique. Like, I don't know if you seen the interview he had with Trap Night. Shout out to Trap Nights.
Shout out to Trap Life. Me, Dr. Joe Taylor, your
Dr.
brother,
Joe Taylor, my brother,
and Reed.
That's my brother's podcast. Look at the backdrop. You would think that we're at some studio. This is his office. He has an evil layer attached to his full-on modern contemporary chiropractic office. It's a very beautiful place. So if you don't come by to get service, just come by, and when you see the building, I'm pretty sure you're going to think it's the wrong place.
Of course, because when they come in, then everybody that comes in, they're like, I didn't think it was going to look like this when I was outside. But my wife designed it. My wife's a great designer. I have nothing to do with any of this stuff. She just knows that I don't want anything to look feminine, so she made it as tough as possible, even as far down to those hands right there. I got a middle finger over there. She knows I like to flip people off.
Right.
So she put that in because I flip people off daily. Not just driving and stuff like that. Like, I go to the gym. I got a good friend of mine. Every time I see him, I flip him off to let him know. So I'm sorry.
That's like, what's up?
No. We sparred this morning. It's like,
he fights his friends.
Yeah. So imagine what I did to my enemies.
Shout out to your wife. She's 3 for 3. I seen this place.
Seen other place.
I'm putting Zabo House out. We ain't getting that kind of money, but she helped with Zabo House. Beautiful. And I went to his house. Look, that shit crazy.
She also did PSA.
See, shout out to PSA. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go check with them after this.
Yeah. Tell them to call me.
So that's 4.
That's 4
on some design shit. Shout out to her. Y'all check out her page. We'll probably plug it in on the back end. But let's get back into it. So you chose this path.
This path chose me. I was born in the darkness of chiropractic. Could you imagine being the minority of the minorities? So you're a black man in this world where being a black man, especially a strong, masculine black man, is really looked down upon. It's like you at the bottom of the barrel, right? Then you're a chiropractor. Right, during the pandemic, you had the bottom of the barrel. You a crazy person to everybody when it first start, right? A lot of chiropractors close. It's like, we close until April. What the fuck is changing in April?
It's just a date.
That's what everybody did. It closed in April. Right. I said, fuck that. I'm staying open.
Right.
What virus? That's all I say. What virus, right? Now, does that mean I'm saying the virus is fake? No. Why would I do that?
Not at all.
Because I took microbiology. If you want to see my fucking transcript, I took microbiology in chiropractic school. We also took it on the boards. But what I do understand is you can't hide from one. You can't hide from no virus. No matter what they tell you. We tried hiding. How'd that go?
Didn't work. Just slowed the process. It came back full strength.
Inevitable. That shit is Thanos. It's coming. Now, what can you do? You got to protect yourself. How do you protect yourself? You exercise, eat right, sleep well, get some vitamin D, go outside. If you live in the northern environment, I feel sorry for you. You need to move down here. Right. But not in Florida. Go to Texas because Florida is full. We sick of y'all. Traffic, you can't drive. You run in the back of everybody. But if you run in the back of somebody, do call me here at MiamiSpineClinic.com, because we treat accidents.
Nigga inserted his own ad with grace, a cleaner. Go ahead, tell your thing. Let me not stop you. And if you follow us on Twitter, we might be the most vocal in Miami about our stances on the virus. I don't know what can be demonetized or not, but like you said, at no point you ever said that the virus wasn't real. At no point did you not acknowledge any of the science we all can agree on.
Right.
That we all can agree on that may be closer to a fact. I'm starting to think now there's no such thing as 100% fact. But
well, do you know what percentage of medicine is proven?
Well, I'll tell you this. My space is more science and theoretical physics. And guess what the first thing in that is? Theoretical.
Correct.
But they talk about it, and I will say this, a lot of sciences, they talk about them as if they're facts.
Correct, like they're laws. Because in science, you have laws.
Right.
Like the law of what? Mass times acceleration and pi and stuff like that. There's no law of vaccines, right? I took a bunch of science, right? I went to FAMU. People may not agree with HBCUs, but we had the same books that y'all had at Florida State. We got the same books that y'all had at other schools. And I never saw a law of vaccines. But now all of a sudden there's a law of vaccines. Now all of a sudden that vaccines eradicated everything. Do you know when hand washing was introduced? Hand washing was introduced in like the 1800s, right?
To white people.
Well, to white people, right? Because the Moors,
as a standard. We ain't gonna do the white people like that, but as a standard.
Because the Moors taught them how to bathe
right.
and all kind of stuff. Even though that I'm not even gonna go down and race stuff.
We're gonna get attacked by people from Spain because they search Moors and make sure that the Moors aren't mentioned as black people.
Let me tell you something. I was at a restaurant. I was at Lobster Bar. I was hanging with some colleagues of mine, and I was the only black person there.
Right.
And so the one of the chef comes out and he was like, "Oh, is he from Sicily?" And I'm like, "No, I'm from Miami." What kind of stupid ass question is that? Do I look like I'm from fucking Sicily? But what I didn't know, I was insulted. He was talking about something, and the other white dude was like, "Yo, don't do that." I'm like, "Yo, why is this dude defending me? I'm from Miami. I'm not from Sicily." I'm like, I like Italian food, but no. So the whole time he's saying I'm one of the Moorish people, and they try to say that, well, the white Italian people say that the Moorish darker people came down there and raped them and beat them up. Not saying that we didn't teach them how to bathe and things like that, but they don't want to talk about that. But back to what we was talking about with when was hand washing introduced?
We'll talk about that more shit later, for real, because I got a bone to pick with the motherfuckers. You say anything about that, they come for you. But go ahead.
So it's like hand washing was introduced, like really introduced into the United States. It was like the 1940s. It was made something that it was really something to do in the 1980s, and they had to tell them motherfuckers to wash their hands again in 2020.
That's true,
right? So 1980s, and they act like everything came about at one time. So then they talk about polio. Polio was eradicated. Polio was at its height in the 1950s. Do you know when electric refrigerators were a thing? They had an ice box. They didn't give it an ice box till like the 1960s, 1950s. There's so much stuff that happens, even like now, right? Look how many different things they had to tell us to do to get rid of COVID, and it's still not gone. How long ago was it that they were doing vaginal examinations with metal? They just switched to plastic.
Right.
Now you go in a hospital, it's hand sanitizer everywhere. We got a lot cleaner. It's not just when they stick a needle in your arm.
Right.
America, the most overfed, over-medicated society. Why isn't our life expectancy just top notch? Why aren't we just number one? We got more vaccines and more pills than everybody else, but we also got more processed foods than everybody else. And that's why we struggle. That's why Italy struggle. And even England, places that eat a bunch of brown and white foods, a bunch of processed foods. And their foods are even better than ours.
Yep.
So we ain't gonna never get out of this hole with just a shot. We on what? Cool. So we're on a 4th, 5th booster, and just now CNN says, being obese is part of the problem. And then before, it's like you got people on Lizzo eating Oreos with mustard and all kind of nonsense on TikTok. Nobody pulls her down for misinformation. But if I was to say these things a month ago, they pulling you down saying being obese could affect this, and independent fact checkers coming out of nowhere, which we find out independent fact checkers was paid $2 billion or invested by people who own Johnson & Johnson. So it's not independent at all, right? It's like my boy. If somebody's saying something about him and I own something I'm paying $2 billion, yeah, it's going to be real independent over here too, right? So, of course, you know, you got things getting pulled down and things like that for people actually talking about real health, right? And they say, well, what can you do and all this type of stuff? Well, the body's a self-healing organism, right? That's what chiropractic is based on. I cut you, you bleed, you clot, you scab, you heal under normal conditions. I understand this is a virus. I understand it's tricky. I understand it's man-made by the government, probably or probably not. I don't know. But what I do know is if your body is in its best physical shape, like all of the professional athletes that caught the virus prior to, like Rudy Gobert, if his baguette-eating ass ain't dead yet, and he's spreading the shit all over the microphone. He's the first motherfucker that we knew. And he didn't die. Nobody else from the NFL or the NBA died. People always talk about, well, what about Karl Anthony Towns? His mama. His mama, did he die? But can his mama dunk? Can his mama do a drop step? No. And RIP to her. That's wrong. I'm sorry. I take that back. But let's be honest. We gotta be really honest here. Like, we gotta look at, okay, yeah, well, some people mamas is Big Mama. Big Mama, you in trouble. Big Mama, you got to come see me. Big Mama, you got to stop eating all that rice.
You got to walk around the block.
You got to
start somewhere.
My pops say people who run when they sick, they walk. People who walk when they sick, they lay down.
That's real shit.
I never heard anybody die from the virus that said, man, I had that shit, man. I just went and sweated that shit. I kept moving. Not saying the sweat is the cure to the virus. He gonna say sweat the cure to the virus because you sweating when you sick. No, I'm not saying that. But movement is medicine.
Yeah.
Laying down and being sedentary. I know it's tough.
Being in the house too long.
You gotta have a will to live. I got family members, I seen them sick, and I, you know, as a professional, I say, yo, you might want to change this up. And I'm pushing them emphatically. Change this up. And they don't listen to me. And they died.
But you know,
and they my age.
It's all choices in this. Like, one thing we can say is nature is nature.
Correct.
A virus is a part of nature. And unfortunately, people don't like to talk about death, or they don't like to talk about the harshness of nature, how it really is. That nature going to do what it's coming to do. And in these situations, it's coming to get rid of the old and the weak.
Correct.
Being old ain't a choice, but being sick in the sense of your choices, or being weak in the sense of your choices, is a choice.
Correct.
And it's an easier choice to make, to do all the pleasurable, easy things all the time. But when it's time for war, you ain't ready.
No, you're not. You never will be. If people were to take this as serious as they were to take it when it was time to wipe stuff down and spray stuff down with Lysol and stuff like that. You couldn't find Lysol, and for some reason you couldn't find toilet paper. I don't know why you couldn't find toilet paper when these people don't take a shit no way, because I have patients. They barely shit. They do. You imagine people going to the bathroom once a week or even once a month. Imagine how much waste is stored in your body, and they refuse to eat some fiber that'll get it out. You know how hard it is to convey these type of messages to the African-American community, even the black community, even sometimes in the Spanish community, right? That you like, yo, you need some fiber. You can't just eat rice 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. I know the Haitians finna come and get me because they eat rice for breakfast. I know the Jamaicans finna come and get me.
But do the half rice. You could do the half rice, half lettuce, chop it chop. That is an option. That's what I'm saying. It's always a choice.
It's always a choice, but these people be telling me this shit is rabbit food. They look at me like I'm a madman because I tell them to eat a salad.
Everything ain't got to taste good.
It do. That ain't, look, man, look, right. What
it tastes fresh.
What does rice taste like?
That's what I'm saying. Rice, grits.
Can anybody tell me what rice tastes like?
I can't tell you what rice, grits, or milk tastes like.
As people be like, I love milk. What it tastes like? It tastes milky. That's the best you got. It tastes milky.
That's all you can really say, because it's like, yo, what the fuck?
I don't drink this type of almond milk because it ain't milky like that, bro. Why you want milky stuff in your mouth, bro? You a grown man.
Well, see, look, that's just, again, do milk taste better than cereal? Maybe, yeah, but it's like, is it worth the side effects?
Who told us to eat cereal? They feed cereal.
Oh, well, we gonna go down that shit.
They feed cereal to livestock, man. We look like livestock to you? They feed cereal to livestock and charge you extra for the livestock that eat grass. It costs more for a grass-fed steak. What the other cows eating? Nigga ain't gonna tell you that. They ain't gonna tell you. What the other cows eat? You know? And then these other people, they high blood pressure medication, pump full of sodium. And they say, man, I don't put no salt in my food. I just use seasoning salt.
Lowry's.
at Old Bay. Check the back of the bucket of Old Bay. Or they use that, what's the Spanish stuff called? Sazon.
Adobo.
Adobo got like 1 million milligrams of sodium in it. It's taking you down left
That's
and
why
right.
it's crack. It's good. It's fire. Like, yo, you got to realize, it sounds fucked up, but things should only be so good. It just is what it is. When things are too good, there's no such thing as too good without some kind of repercussions.
But check it, right? So far as sodium, look at chicken, right? Mm-hmm. Who loves chicken more than black people? Right now, niggas going crazy over Taco Bell chicken wings. After they just found out that obesity is putting your ass in the ground for COVID.
Right.
But niggas wearing 18 masks and eating 15-piece chicken wings from Taco Bell. The motherfuckers who had F-grade beef. What the fuck kind of chicken wings do you think they finna give you?
I don't think I could let you shit on Taco Bell because out of all my guilty pleasures, the shit better than Chipotle. Chipotle's so fucking trash that I don't think about health when it comes to that. I'm like, if I want this pseudo-Mexican food, I'm going to Taco Bell because nothing tastes better than a Gordita Crunch.
A Gordita Crunch.
But I understand.
All the sodium.
I might eat that bitch once every 3 months, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've learned to realize, like, yo, I was a shorty growing up. I grew up in the city. I grew up on 441 in Miami. You know, that's like a little, it's just basically a highway. It's only fast food on that motherfucker. Y'all got more shit now, Waffle House and all this shit, but it was just fast food.
It's still poison. Ain't no Whole Food on
441.
Ain't no Whole Food on 441. Ain't no Trader Joe's on 441.
They got one place in that little strip plaza where you can get. They got Aldi's on 441?
No, it's not 441. That's
on 27.
But
you don't have places where you can indulge.
Don't even give you a fucking buggy.
Right.
They don't want you to get too much
produce. You got to be a
produce.
cleaner to shop there.
It's like, nigga, you want produce, give me a quarter.
But it's like my diet consisted of, and I tweeted about this, it was completely unhealthy because not only was I picky, but I was only eating fast food, and then the food that is getting cooked at home is not hitting the color wheel. You know what I'm saying? It's just the shit that tastes fire.
So me and my pops been doing physicals in the inner city forever. And I've been doing physicals Moore Park, Liberty City, Overtown, North Dade, Bunch Park, right? All over, down south. We've been doing physicals everywhere. So all these doctors, they talk about they the experts. I've been groomed in this shit. Not me trying to brag, but I've been seeing these kids forever. I probably seen you and you didn't even know it, right? I've seen them all. And I've heard the picky eater thing. And there's two types of picky eaters, right? You got always picky eaters and it's always processed foods. It's the chicken nugget, hot Cheetos kid. He's skinny, but he could barely close his mouth. Be sitting like that.
Damn.
And then you got the other picky eater, the pizza roll boy. Love milk, but he short and chubby, big breast, gynecomastia almost. Gynecomastia is man, gotta go down there. But these are what we see between the picky eaters. But it's the parents. Got nothing to do with the kids.
Right.
Because how the fuck they know about chicken nuggets? Who told you what a chicken nugget was? That ain't even real.
It's the most amazing thing when you're a kid.
Chicken balls and chicken beak, grounded up, deep fried, give it to you with some sweet sour sauce. You like, I love this. This is beautiful. This is the best thing out. And it's like $6.
Right.
People say they ain't got no money. $6 for bullshit.
And this is the fucked up part. You can go get a chicken breast. You was going to give your kids a 6-piece. Cut that shit into bites. All white meat chicken. Fry it. Do all the same ingredients. That shit is way healthier than that same thing. But the crazy part is you get so used to the process.
You can even fry it in better oil.
No, but even...
McDonald's don't change the oil. How often they change it?
Well, this is the thing. Everything that McDonald's does makes that shit taste a certain way. So kids, they don't want to stray away from the McDonald's taste after that. They don't even want the fresh version.
They got you hooked.
So now you got to... It's hard as a parent doing all this shit and trying to break them out of it. But at the end of the day, if they keep going on that path, now we here with Corona, and all the motherfucker know is still Big Buford's at this age.
Speaking of chicken breast, right? So, like I was talking about sodium, right? So, when you buy chicken breast, you might go buy chicken breast. I used to buy a lot of chicken breast. I used to get a bunch of chicken breast. I would like work out. Chicken breast. They love motherfuckers work out.
What that shit called? Like the bro diet?
Yeah, the bro diet is chicken breast to death. So, you go buy chicken breast, right? You look at it, it says 25% less sodium. What the fuck is 25% less? Where's the what do you mean less? Less of what?
This is raw chicken.
I thought I was buying chicken. I didn't know I was buying salt. I didn't know I was buying salted chicken. So why is the chicken pumped full of sodium? To make you swell up, to make you retain more water, to make you have ankles to where you point at it, you got edema, and you
feel more full.
Feel more full. You can't tell people to eat fiber because they say they get that full feeling.
That shit hard. I mean, but you
fast though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So I get when I right now I'm not eating meat. Pause. Dang, this lineup finna be a pause. So pause for this whole lineup.
Pause, bitch.
I'm not eating meat. Pause. But the lack of processed foods, meats, you don't feel fulfilled when you eat. Like you might feel like you eat a whole bunch of fruit and feel good for this window.
There's other options,
but you gotta get back. You gotta
keep
eating.
Like pause. Nuts.
Right.
Nuts keep you grounded. Homo.
Right.
You have quinoa and other things. Quinoa is knocked down. Like you eat a bowl of quinoa, people are like, oh, quinoa tastes nasty. What it tastes like? Nothing.
Just like it tastes nasty.
It don't taste like nothing.
It's just like
you put something on it, it tastes just like that.
You know you pairing it with something, so you just taking out white rice and putting quinoa in.
People hate the healthier option. It automatically tastes worse. Automatically.
And that's not always the case. I would say that.
That's how they feel. If I got patients who don't drink water at all, refuse to just like nah, doc, I ain't with that water stuff, man. I drink beer.
All right, so can we talk about? We're gonna go into water for a little bit. I want you to guide that way. Understand that your body is 80% water.
Correct.
Nigga, if you got straight Minute and the one that's in the plastic jar, not the carton, because we know they both taste different.
That old citrus juice.
Passion fruit.
5 Alive.
Peach orchard. Like, once I got down this path, and shout out to my boy, he helped me get down this path. He was the first person to tell me, you could be doing better. And I listened. But, again, I'll take a shot of that shit, and I'm done. I'm like, ooh, that peach orchard, bro, I used to be chugging this?
Yeah, it's super sweet. So much sugar.
But once you break and fast away from that, it's not the same. But
we should be drinking jungle juice.
But no, look, let's talk about the importance of water. Your body is 70-80% water. You can't think that going without water is okay. Like it's not okay. So maybe you could speak to them on some of the key reasons you need to not only just drink 1 bottle a day or 2 bottles, why you need to stay hydrated.
Man, you need to stay hydrated. For one, we live in Miami. It's hot. Right? So once the fake winter is over, we in summer junior right now. Right. Once that's over and you walk to the car, you sweating already. You losing water. You losing water all day. I'm losing water as I'm talking. You losing water as you blinking. Our body, everything in our body is lubricated through water. You create blood through the water, right? Mm-hmm. That's why some people don't drink water. Blood is thick like goddamn algae syrup out the country. So what you need to do, you need to hydrate. Hydrate for everything because your body runs off that. The electrolysis, all of the processes in there, you need some water in there. Lubricate your joints, lubricate your lungs, you name it. And people around here like, how tall are you?
We saying this for the women or we saying this for reality?
We saying this for reality.
Oh, okay.
You tell a woman you're 6'8"?
No, I tell them I'm 5'12". That's
5'12".
That's when you can't tell you ain't 6 feet.
Right. So
you know
you're 5.
But no, I'm about 5'11".
5'11" and a half, 5'12". So how much you weigh?
Nigga, I'm back down to 190. From
190.
240 to 190. Look, come see him.
Come see me.
You want to see him? Look at me.
Want to drop weight? I got a lot of stuff cooking in and out the country. Just wait. But so 5'11", 190. How much water you drink a day?
Now, at least a half a gallon.
At least,
and that's just me not focusing on drinking water.
Correct.
So that's my new low, where it used to be maybe a cup.
A cup. All right, cool. Let's go back to new low. 5'11", 190, which wasn't your weight. You was probably 210, 220.
At my worst, yeah, about I'll say 235.
235. So let's say if you was 5'11", 235, and you was drinking a cup of water a day. Now let's say I had a bucket that could hold 5'11", 235, and I poured 1 cup of water in there. What would that look like?
Dropping the bucket.
Dropping the fucking bucket. And that's what you niggas be doing. And you come to me and expect me to fix you.
Right.
First of all, drink some fucking water. Just a little bit, please. This is always going to get bleeped out because I know the algorithm going to fuck it up.
Just let me know what to bleep out.
Let me know what to bleep out. Well,
we'll take
people,
it.
People know I'm
This nigga's crazy.
Kanye said, name one genius that ain't crazy.
Hey, I feel him.
So, people drink a drop in the bucket and expect to be healthy. And you can't do that. You can't just go your whole life doing bad things every day and expect good results. That's in life, finance, love life, family, relationships. You can't just do bad things to people, especially yourself, and expect your body to react at the time you need it to react, especially right now. With the pandemic going on, I used to watch people in the grocery store, and I used to even walk up to some of them. It's like, especially when the mask thing wasn't a thing, I was like, yo, my man, you got 3 gallons of milk. Why are you taking 3 gallons of milk when it's a pandemic going on? He'd be like, oh, I'm giving this to my babies. I'm like, do you love them? You can't love them. You can't. You giving them liquid pus, liquid meat. People love to get on me about milk. And be like, my grandma in Cuba, she's 175 years old and she drink milk all the time. She's drinking that Cuban milk, not this motherfucking American processed shit.
So let's go there. Like meeting somebody, see, and again, me and my guy, we do traveling together, we do work together, we see each other, we call each other on the phone. I will tell you this: if you're not built for war, his advice don't come on no silver platter, and it don't come with sugar and frosting on it.
I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm working on it.
Can you explain on the importance of why you keep your stance? You don't waver in your stance.
Because, first of all, if you look at things logically, well, people love to use logic and science nowadays whenever they feel like it. Only in certain situations, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
science be sciencing.
Science be going up and down. It's like, oh, not science here, but science over there. But, okay, we're mammals, right? Mm-hmm. Mammals lactate, right? Lactate for what? For infants, right? Smaller humans, right? Or smaller cows. So why is a human drinking something with the bovine hormones in it? Why do we need that? Why do we want to look like a cow? And what do cows even eat, right? People say, well, cows got vitamin D and calcium. Well, what do? They stand outside all day, which we don't. We sit inside. We're looking at our fucking phones and laptops and iPads and things like that. They're outside all day, and what are they eating? Grass. Only the high-end ones, right? Not the low-end. The low ones were eating other cows and bullshit like that. But the high-end ones, they're outside eating grass. That's how you get the vitamin D. You get the calcium from the grass. And I always try to tell my patients, go your ass outside and eat some fucking kale. Eat some romaine lettuce. Eat some, even though spinach is fake, eat some spinach.
You'll be doing the same thing, essentially. As you're trying to drink a cow's byproduct to do. And not to mention,
you don't know this cow at all. You think they're giving you one cow? It's cow from here, cow from there. It's like, you're like this.
You could throw it, and well, don't do this. That was going to be a good joke, but I was going to say, you could damn near throw a kid off a roof.
You're going to be on OnlyFans like this. No, but with milk coming at you from all angles in the ears and all.
No, I was going to say, you could damn near throw a kid off the roof and they'll bounce off the ground. So these motherfuckers are drinking milk and being unfazed at that early age. Be real with yourself. It's like a scale of 1 to 10 on how lactose intolerant you are, but most likely you're lactose intolerant, which is a sign your body giving you a signal. This shouldn't be in here.
It's not for me. It's not for humans. Not for human consumption. Why not drink dog milk? People love dogs. Why not drink dog milk?
Right.
They love to bring them in Whole Foods and bring them by the quinoa. Why don't we drink dog milk? They think that's crazy. But you'd rather drink a 2-ton animal that's the size of a small car, and you'd rather drink their milk with pus and all kind of other antibiotics added into it. Then it says fortified with vitamin D, right? What the fuck does fortified mean? How the hell do you fortify some shit from the sun? Tell me.
These are the parts of the, like, science, and this is going to be the science sector, because I know y'all probably starting to think that we don't. The way we sarcastically mention science, I love science. Probably one of my number one loves. I'm saying y'all don't understand fucking science.
They don't understand fucking common sense. That's the problem.
Somebody told you, like I said, a Yahoo fact came out and said A, B, C.
That's it.
You want to be an intellectual, and you take that and you regurgitate that fact to somebody who studied biology,
chemistry, genetics. People love to be like, it's genetics. Genetics is the reason why I have hypertension. Is it? My grandma had hypertension, but my grandma in Bahamas is still alive. My grandma that had hypertension, diabetes, dead. Why? Because she ate hog balls, all this other garbage slave food that they feed us over here, and she continued to eat it. My grandma in Bahamas is still alive. I don't know how, no education, but that lady is still kicking. You know, she's going because they got natural fruits. They got natural foods around.
You have to do stuff. You got to walk to the store.
Because there ain't no money.
Yeah.
Money make us weak in a sense, right? Because money, this bartering for time and essentially sweat equity, makes us weak, opposed to the things that come out the ground is what we're supposed to eat. People always talk about, well, what's the right thing? You want foods that don't have labels. You want foods that don't have 25% sodium added. That's what you want. You want things that you can't even look on the back of it. No, you just take it off the tree, and that's what belongs to you. That's why she's still going. I don't know how.
But it's like the sugar she might be getting from a mango ain't the same sugar we getting from a honey bun.
Well, people like to get on me when I tell my patients to eat fruits and vegetables. It's like, well, I'm a diabetic, so I can't eat fruits. What you have breakfast? Grits. Grits got motherfucking sugar in it, don't it? But
nah, hell nah. Not down here. You better not have no motherfucking sugar in your grits.
You eating ground corn. You're not even eating the real grits, right? Because grits come out yellow. It's like ground corn.
That's true.
They eating the white grits. So you eating ground corn with the white bleach that they use to make it white.
Shit, even eating a fucking honey bun out of the vending machine. That's insane. Like, now that we talking about it, it's a sugar glaze on a bread that's built to last 6 months at a time.
And because of the cellophane.
I don't know what that is.
The plastic around it. The plastic
that's
wrapper.
also absorbing into the wet sugar.
You know it's causing cancer. All types of cancer.
Under a light the whole day.
Oh, my God. Press A7. Give me one of them things. You come now and they put in the motherfucking, they nuke it. And then
in the bag.
They nuke it in the bag. And they come out and tell me I need to take a shot to live. Otherwise, I will die.
My people. Look, but again, as a nigga who enjoyed that shit thoroughly.
I've been there, man.
Yes.
I ate pig feet at the barbershop.
That's the most niggerish shit I done heard in a while.
I ate pig feet I used to go to the barbershop right up here.
Why they selling pig feet at the barbershop?
I don't know how you could sell animal products in a jar with no refrigerator, sitting in vinegar.
That's crazy.
And it's pink. I was Malcolm Little.
No, I mean,
I was Malcolm.
We all had our Malcolm Little.
Hot sausage in a pink vinegar, bro. You selling me pork? No refrigerator, no nothing, just vinegar.
Well, I'm not gonna say the.
I'm built for this fucking pandemic. You think I'm gonna die from this? I ain't die from that.
They're all good pickled foods, not this.
Pickled meats, bro.
Not pickled.
No,
I don't think there's no such thing as a good pickled meat. I'm not sure. But pickled vegetables, like pickled sauerkraut and all that, that's cool to have sitting in the jar.
They got probiotics and other things like that. But they were selling this shit at the barbershop.
But
you
it
come
was
get
sausage.
You come get a tape, your haircut, you get your flat top, get your rat tail, your ponytail. you get you a 25 cent bag of chips and some goddamn pig feet.
The pig feet be tripping me out because it's actually a foot.
Jesus Christ!
Like, I know that sounds crazy, but it's like it's a
been
foot
walking
floating.
in shit.
Absorbing that motherfucker for years.
Absorbing it. It's like, here you go, niggas. A delicacy. Look, we gonna commit crime off that. I want to rob somebody right now. Think about it.
And we're not saying that this shit, like, none of these things taste good or anything like that, but it's like, it's a cost that come with that shit. Like, again, pause. We from Miami. Garcia sausage.
Oh, my God.
That's legendary. But I've grown to understand this cannot be a 3 times with the grits and eggs a week thing.
When I was eating Garcia sausage, I never read the back of labels. Can anybody that's watching this let us know the sodium content in Garcia sausage?
Don't even look, because I still want y'all to enjoy. That's a Miami company, and we got to support
That's
Miami.
a Miami company?
Yeah, it's right there by the hospital.
Wow.
Which is crazy, but it's right there in that area by the hospital, like on 12th and 20th.
Wow. By the hospital.
Yeah. Remember, they burnt down, and it was no Garcia for months because it's some local shit.
So they selling sausage by the hospital and putting niggas in body bags.
That is crazy. That is by the hospital, but
not really. Hospital got McDonald's.
One thing about Miami
McDevils.
hospitals, that
Hospital
shit has
got
a
McDevils.
big ass. Jackson Memorial has a huge fucking McDonald's that everybody done ate from.
They got a McDonald's like the one in Orlando off I-Drive.
It's full of doctors giving you advice eating McDonald's and homeless people.
Oh my God. Heroes.
Yeah, like
I'm not a real doctor, but I got no McDonald's down here. I got smoothie advice. But whatever. If that makes me not a real doctor, well, I guess I don't want to fucking be one. Because I ain't telling you eat McDonald's. And I ain't putting one by my office. Even though it's one up the street, killing niggas left and right. But, you know, that's always in the hood. It's always a McDonald's in the hood.
Let's switch gears a little bit.
Go ahead.
Because I feel like we finally talking in long form and a lot of shit we get killed for. And I be seeing people blocking me and shit. I'm like, damn, why this motherfucker block me? But we come hard with it. Pause.
Yeah. No homo. Sorry.
Let's talk a little bit about your business, and then we'll lead it into, politics and world business.
Politics. Sheesh.
But let's start a business first. All right. Let's talk about what you've built and your rapid growth over the last 2 years, 3 years. You've been ascending, but you've really stepped
it up. Yeah. COVID made me step it up. Because I would watch, not to knock anybody, not to make light of anything, I would watch a lot of other medical professionals get online and start crying and say they're not built for this. I'm not saying they're not built for this. I'm saying I didn't sign up for this. And I'm like, yo, this what the fuck I signed up for. Let's go. We in it now. We in the thick of this shit. People dying. Let's do something. Let's help them. Let's save them.
Wartime. This is what we've been training for.
This is what we doing. I'm in full jarhead mode. Let's go. Give me the AK. Let's rip it. I'm letting it go. Let the ads go. Let everybody see what's going on. Let everybody know about real health care, not just taking pills and potions and all kind of bullshit. Letting them know that their health is in their control. What you do every day, right? Because you think coming to see me for 30 minutes is health. But no, health is what you're doing the other 23 and a half hours.
Right.
The other 23 hours. Not when you come see me. The best doctor, as my pops always say, is in the mirror. A lot of people don't understand that. They refuse to understand that they are in control of their health in some situations.
You the only one that knows the nuance of your body. I get migraines, and doctors only tell you this. Get a migraine journal, track your migraines. That don't mean shit. But I took that little advice and grew, and I started to track my pain and what triggered my pain. But at the end of the day, no doctor could have told me sleeping on my side plus stress triggers my migraines.
Correct.
Only you can know that about your body.
Right. It's you.
Yeah, you. At the end of the day, advice is advice, but you have to apply it to how it makes sense for you.
People like to say, "Well, you're not the real." I mean, I don't want to dwell on that, but you come in, you get adjusted, your headache feel better. But you also come in, you might take a pill, and your headache might feel better too, right?
Right.
But that pill, how does it know to go to your head anyways? We're not gonna get on that. But what I'm gonna say is, with that, it's like you have to know what's causing these issues because I wasn't fucking there. I don't even know you.
Right.
With a lot of my people, I don't know you. I just met you. I don't even know how to pronounce your name the right way. How do you think that I'm going to know what actually caused the issues? We need to find out together, but I need you to really focus on that issue. Mm-hmm. You yourself, you have to figure out what's causing these problems. And that's where we at with it right now.
Again, going back with these topics, you see it's a lot of accountability that you got to have. And it's like Neo in the Matrix. Once he realized what the Matrix was, it's like, oh, fuck, this shit ain't going to never be sweet again because you're accountable. You're no longer ignorant.
I think, not to segue, I know you want to go into politics, but Trump is what made people stronger because they knew nobody was coming.
It worked out. It's like once he got in office, it's like...
You knew you didn't like him, right? You knew you felt he was racist, right?
Bro, I didn't know that. I was the one from the beginning that never said, there's a regular level of racist.
But when you're black, you deal with all type of racism.
So we built for all of it. So it's like I never seen him cross that line at that point with anything, when he first started running. That was like, why are they trying to throw racism on him? All I can remember is him hanging with my favorite rappers. That don't make sense.
My thing is, it's hard for me, just like the Malcolm X movie would say, it's hard for me to find some white people that oh shit, shoot them down.
It is what it is. We'll live.
It's hard for me to find some people that I didn't feel that had a little bit of racism. It's a few people that were absent of pigment that I felt actually understand what to say and what not to say around black people. A few. I would say 1% of all the white people I met, and I've been around a lot of white people. 1%, it's like, yo, that's not a good joke for black people. Right. But, what you want me to do, knock them out? You want to shoot them? You want to go push shiesty? No, I can't do that. So it's like, when I seen the racism or whatever, I'm not going to say the racism. When I seen the people claiming racism and stuff like that, I'm like, good. Now you niggas know ain't nobody coming. Let's get to fucking work now.
Right. And then you start realizing how mild the racism is. Because this is my thing. If I'm going to be affected by racism, it's how I'm affected. Are you stopping me from getting money? Are you putting me in harm? Are you trying to harm my family? That top level of racism, of that, well, let's say
That's few and far in between
Exactly.
nowadays.
That's the cream of the crop of racism.
Our parents dealt with that, though.
Right.
Our parents might have dealt with that a little bit more than we did. We got pulled over, though. I was just talking to a business partner of mine. He said he went to school in Oregon, and he said he got hit with a false rape accusation when he had an away game for basketball. He wasn't even there at that time. Wow. And he said had he not known the district attorney, he might have been in jail. He might have still been in jail right now. So that is levels to the racism.
That's the shit
Trump was not there, though. Yeah, Trump was not that white woman that put that false rape accusation on him.
That's where we got to step up and defend our people and attack. But it's like, at the end of the day, bro, if you just being intimidated, like, I am not an athlete, but I'm a black person who plays sports in Miami. So compared to maybe the average Joe white person in middle America, you might be jealous that it seems like I'm more athletic to you. Well, this is just me naturally. So if you're going to be racist about jealousy, I don't give a fuck. I probably could beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't bother me. Now, when you get me fired from my job, when you are not letting me get the job that I should have, even though a man's destiny is in his hands.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But let's just say.
But speaking of jobs, I told you, we had this conversation before. A job ain't gonna never pay you what you're worth.
Yeah, that's never been the thing. I'm speaking more for the people who are okay with the jobs.
Let's work for me. Let's work for me. I'm gonna pay you what you're worth.
Or come on to the network.
Come on to the network.
I'll let your boy.
Come to the dark side at MiamiSpineClinic.com. Need a job? Get you right, man. It's like who pays good? Master P pay good. It's like No Limit Records without the oodles and noodles.
Niggas still shit on Master P for paying them good.
For real.
Ain't that some shit?
But Master P shit on Tennessee State, HBCU. Damn. But whatever.
But see, when it's P, we can come back and talk to him and say, P, you may have handled this wrong. And he can choose to accept or not. But he has done other things.
Right.
So I'm not.
He don't have a track record of really shitting on black people like JX.
Who?
I call him JX. Because he thinks he's Malcolm X, but he's not.
All right, so
5%er running around here telling niggas to take a vaccine, got no knowledge of self.
I think we're gonna end with that. not this episode. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna finish out with the politics and the business and all that. But we're gonna end with that because, damn, that's a touchy subject for me. But I don't like what I see at times. But I'm gonna keep it kosher because maybe one day we can have a conversation. But Kanye kind of tell me some shit that I always kind of felt.
He's selfish.
And that shit bothers me. You can't be the leader of all of us. Because we already know.
We have no leaders. Because if we had a leader, they'd take him out.
It would have been him.
No.
It would have been him.
No. Why would it?
All right, so fuck it. Fuck the politics and all that bullshit. This is the real podcast. So when he was training us, the ones who followed him.
Who followed him?
Like niggas like me, like, yo, he was like, yo, I'm a businessman, not a businessman. Like, okay, we was getting that game from that distance.
What kind of fucking game is that? I'm a businessman. What does that even mean?
But I'm going to get there. That was building him up more. And out of the love and respect I had for him at that time, and I still fuck with him, still my favorite rapper, whatever, but it was more of like, I'm going to go find out how to be like you. But now you seeing niggas like Money Man come out and say, you don't got to go find it here to go to the game right here. It's not going to stop me from getting money if I tell you about this crypto coin or this stock. It's not stopping me, but it became, well, now I'm looking at the old people I used to love, and they were more selling themselves to build them up, and we idolize that shit. But
what game is he giving you now?
But now you can reflect.
What game was he ever giving you? All he told you was, all he showed me was you can use influence to sell products. Right? He was selling products from white people. Right? The nigga started Tidal. I bought Tidal. Got Tidal. I was subscribed to Tidal. I'm like, dang, it's a black owned.
I've never not had Tidal. Just because of him.
Right. But he switched off. He's not with Tidal no more. He sold it.
Right.
So why should I stay there? Because that's what he does.
Look,
same thing he did with the seat. 50 Cent say he thought he owned the team. He only owned the seat. He only owned the seat for the Nets.
Right.
Bought in. Helped them helped the Russian dude finagle some deals, get it going, got niggas kicked out of Brooklyn. And then he sold his shares, like he always does. And that's fine. But don't lie to me like you...
He told us he should have bought a building in Dumbo.
But what is he now? Dumbo? So what? Buy real estate? Who the fuck ain't telling you to buy real estate, especially now? You find anybody in your spam messages telling you to buy real estate. That don't mean they Jay-Z. That don't mean... He ain't ain't giving you nothing.
I'm not telling you to hate Hove because
I'm gonna tell you
at the
hate
end
anybody.
of the day,
except for Tyler Perry.
without Hove, parts of what I became probably would have been harder to come across, or maybe non-existent. He played a role, but I will say this: he is the entertainment version of that. Like, I was out getting shit on my own as a young nigga and matching what I'm doing to the music, not necessarily getting the game from the music. That's reactive.
So you don't need Hove.
Exactly. I can enjoy the music like, oh, Hove saying the same type of shit I did. It's entertainment.
Definitely separated.
Money Man and all these niggas who actually really adding real shit in their music, these the mystical sages of the metaverse. Like, these the niggas, what we trying to be for niggas with health and philosophy and all that. Like,
tell them the truth.
We putting it on the line to just tell niggas like, no, nigga, he just told you like the specifics of the vaccine or the food or this. Like, he's giving you the whole story. Now it's on you to choose to go back and get bits and pieces that you feel comfortable with.
What Nas made, what goes around comes around. He made that, what, 2001, 2004, 2005, something like that? He told you about the vaccine a long time ago.
Stillmatic?
When was that?
That was like 2001.
He told you about vaccines then.
Knowledge yourself.
Knowledge yourself.
But that was Nas' fault because Nas' beats was trash for long. Like, Stillmatic was gangster. Illmatic was gangster. Stillmatic was gangster. I've heard everything in passing from his albums in between there because I chose Hove. I chose the dark side when they went at it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like,
but Nas went dark.
I'm a drug dealer's son. Of course, I'm gonna fucking choose Hove. Like, it's like that same.
You think he really lost 92 bricks?
I can see that. I can see that being realistic now. And I know niggas like.
Do you know anybody that lost 92 bricks?
No, I know niggas
that's alive.
Well, look at it like this.
Do you know anybody lost 5 bricks that's alive? And I'm not a drug dealer. The crack I deal is in my office, right? Yeah. With my bare hands. You want crack? 292 Northwest 54th
Well,
Street.
I'll tell you this: if you middleman in work, you might have access. It's still a far stretch, but you might have access to it. But I can see if you only getting 1,000.
I want an answer, man.
If you only
do you know anybody that lost the dope that ain't dead in the fucking ground? Get ate up by worms? No.
Damn, when you put it that way, I don't know about that.
Me either. I don't know shit about dope.
I see niggas go at it for an ounce. For real, for real.
I'm mad at my uncle. He owe me $100.
Yeah, 92 a lot. Now I think what.
But that's principle.
The explanation was he had to work off the debt for free coming up. But again, I feel like if you servicing 92 bricks, you only getting a top off of that. So you might be getting 1,000, 2,000 per brick because it's not your shit. You middlemaning it. If that was the case, I don't think he bought 92 bricks and lost them. That's different. Somebody, your best friend, to kill you about that. I mean, I don't see a situation where I wouldn't try to kill somebody who I'm working with that, because that's a lot of fucking money. What you mean you lost it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean you lost 92? Like, the Fed seized it. Like, that might, I hope that's what happened. They ain't just get missing.
Why are you still talking about it in music, though?
Because.
Why are you bragging on a loss? I know hip hop does talk about the loss,
but that no.
And Jeezy, you talking about hit the lights.
I was gonna say that
cockroaches everywhere.
He a Nas fan now, nigga.
I said Jeezy,
but I'm saying though, if you lost 92 bricks hypothetically and had to crawl back, it was more important about him telling us he had to crawl back,
saying that I could lose anything.
For the niggas, it makes sense for. Like the
you
niggas
you can make anything make sense if you want.
But the niggas who follow
people around here taking 5, 6, 7 shots and telling me that me working out. Or they told me the gym was the most disgusting place.
But that's the same type of person.
My own family told me I was crazy.
That's the same type of person.
My brother was like, "You sound like a crazy person right now." I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's obesity. I'm telling you, because you know why I knew these things? Because I called my friends that work in the hospitals. Because when I was a bio major at FAM, I know a shit ton of people that went to medical school. And I called him and I said, "Yo, what's it looking like in there?" And he was telling me like, "Yo, one of my friends, he's super pro-vax, right? He's like, I got this one lady in here. She 80-something. If you would have spit on her, she would have died. I got this other person in here. He got one lung. He's big. He's overweight. I got this other person, super obese, like 400 pounds. That's what they told me. And those are the 3 things. Because he was like, he's an anesthesiologist. He told me he's treating the super sick patients. So I wasn't just going and just saying this shit just because, right? I call other people that work at hospitals, and they were like, "Yeah, it's the people that's down bad. If you down bad, you going down." And I'm like, damn. All I could think about was my grandma over here that's gone, and my grandma in Bahamas that's still alive.
And it's like, even when we say nature go nature, that shit sound harsh and that shit sound like we don't care about people. Nigga, nature and nature, it might take, you know, God forbid, somebody in our family. So we're not saying that like we detached from it. I don't want nobody to go because of this shit. But the facts are the facts. You look across nature. When animals hunt, they go for the weak and the poor. I mean, the weak and the old.
Right.
When diseases come, they go for the vulnerable, the weak and the old. Everything in nature, like, this shit is a cycle. The earth cleanses itself too. Unfortunately, I hate to talk about this shit like that, but get with the fucking reality. Because all you got to do is not be in that threshold of the weak. You can't, the old is old. Your time is your time. Hopefully you did what you needed to do.
My thing is, like, what if I told you if you could live an extra day if you just eat a salad? An extra day. An extra 24 hours. An extra day to see your kids, your mama, your friends, whatever.
And start with a whole bunch of Caesar. If that's what you're gonna get you in the game, I started with the mixed salad shakers and all that extra shit.
McDonald's used to sell salad shakers. It was worst shit out.
Exactly, but
it was shaking it up like this. It's
all it taught you was
salad. That's how you know McDonald's trying to attack people. They got you shaking salads, all kind of weird gestures. You don't want that.
But guess what? It got a nigga eating lettuce. And then as I grew up and realized, hey, you shouldn't have half lettuce and half dressing.
Shouldn't have half invisible lettuce. That's fucking translucent when you hold it up.
Exactly.
You can see through it like a fucking dollar bill.
But I started my journey. Like when I started eating vegan, first thing was, a chili cheeseburger in LA. It took me to see like, yo, vegan food tastes this good. I'll give it a try. Then I start trying the this and that and this and that. And I worked to the way where I'm like, yo, I can eat whole foods now. This shit would have never happened, but I needed my gateway. The gateway was like, this is the healthiest, worst shit you can eat.
And trust me, I'm not trying to knock nobody because I just told you I ate pig knuckles. You know what I'm saying? I ain't on no better.
I ain't never do that.
My dad used to look at me like a fucking crazy person. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Even your dad ain't approve of that.
My dad ain't approve a lot of shit, but he was like, my mama is from Alabama. My dad is the physician. So he's like, yo, what the hell? But he was just like, I'm like, man, it tastes good. My mama put me on that shit. So it's like, my pops always say that's why you got two parents. You know, everybody don't have that, but at the same time, I ran astray and was eating nonsense. But back to what I'm saying, I'm not trying to knock nobody for their poor lifestyle choices right now because health is not a destination.
Right.
Health is a journey.
It's a journey.
Like me, still to this day, I'm looking for different ways to get another edge, different ways to feel better. I'm 36 years old. I'll be 37. I'm still out here trying to compete with guys that are in their 20s over there at the gym. I'm still trying to fight with them. I'm still working every single day. So I'm still trying to turn back the clock. It's not like it's over because, oh, I'm healthy now. No, I have to keep going. And if you're unhealthy, you have to have that same type of intensity with it as well. And you could get to wherever you want to get.
Right.
Wherever you want to get. And but it's mainly on you. Not on the motherfuckers on TV. Not on a guy that's saying, oh, take the vaccine. Because he ain't tell you shit about health all fucking 2 years from now. Right. They give you no health tips. Not a one. All they told you is take a shot. All they told you is wear a mask. These dudes go to school for how long? They go to school longer than me, even though we take probably the same amount of hours because our school is accelerated. But we're not finna go there. But they go to school for all this time and they only learn two things during the pandemic. That's it. That's all they got for you.
So we talking answers and solutions. The problem is not that you only supposed to take the CDC's advice or these doctors' advice. The problem starts at the root.
CDC is the government.
You got to own up to what's going on.
Can you trust the government? Especially as a black person.
Well, can you trust anybody that has a mission to, that might not necessarily line up with yours?
Correct.
Can you trust anybody with that? Like, you can compromise at certain points, but you can't say that person or that entity or that business is 100% in your favor. Did
you watch Dope Sick?
No, I seen Joe Budden talking about that.
Dope Sick is on Hulu, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much showing the oxy epidemic.
Right.
And it shows how people love to be like, do you have sources? Do you have sources to back your claim? Do you have sources? Do you have a link that I can look at? Is it proof? Go and watch that. And it shows how these motherfuckers had documents, research, saying that oxys weren't addictive. The research is only good as the motherfuckers who pay for it.
Can you trust the mechanic?
What you mean? I just came in for an oil change. Why are you telling me about my air filter?
Right. Can you trust the mechanic here to make a profit off of you? It's not just that mechanic. That's low level shit.
That's low level because it's about to be air filter then transmission.
What about your body's mechanic?
Then you need 4 new tires.
Right. What about your body's mechanic?
Oh my Lord. Please. And then they also voted the people from the Purdue company, the Purdue family, that none of them went to jail, not a one.
Which is a cartel.
They said they wanted pain to be a vital sign. That's how far they was pushing the oxy stuff. That's how far they was pushing the pain. But the only reason the documentary or show came about is because it was affecting white people.
Well, yeah, now it's hitting them harder than us. Like,
oh, of course. It was smacking them. It's smacking them down. It was pill mills all throughout the crib.
Yeah.
Why you think they over there in Delray? They in Delray going to these places and they charging them $40,000-$50,000 each patient.
Yeah, like if you're a rapper
for a test, it's big money in this.
If y'all rappers want to know where y'all be getting, well, activists is not here, but where y'all be getting y'all lean and shit, there's places like here where these pain fucking facilities, they can dump out shit like that. So a motherfucker, you might be living in Mississippi, but it's a motherfucker driving down here, collecting all that lean, come sell it to you. So it might be real.
And they put the fent in it
till he cut it. That's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother story. But I don't know nothing about that. I just know about chiropractic here at Miami Spine Clinic, 292 Northwest 54th Street, MiamiSpineClinic.com.
So what's the mission for 2022? We're going into midterm elections. We are at minimum at least aware of politics.
What's
everybody's
midterm? So Ron DeSantis, a lot of people say he's racist.
He could.
Which he may or may not be. I ain't here to play politics. Say PIP, personal injury protection, which the Democrats trying to get rid of. Well, not the Democrats.
A
teachers. Democratic attorney. I'm not going to name his name. I still work with him. I work with Democrats, I work with Republicans, I work with white people, I work with all kind of weirdos. Right? So, but he saved it only because it's political. I know people that cut checks here and there, man. It's all a con. I don't take it personal, though, because everybody's just trying to line their own pockets when it comes to the political stuff. And I think people need to understand that they need to look at what serves them best when it comes to voting for anybody and not put so much into it, because who you vote for may or may not win.
And all the shit that they tell you that's going to happen to us, that scare factor shit, like building a wall, you see that shit ain't coming about. Some things are real threats, and some things are just like...
I went to FAMU. You say you a FAMU vet because you fought somebody at FAMU.
I fought a couple of niggas at FAMU. Shout out to the Miami boys. So, you know, I spent a lot of time there.
I went to FAMU. I voted for Andrew Gillum.
I did too. That was my last throwaway vote. I
was like, whoa, this my nigga right here. He went to FAM. Then he threw out a fake wedding. I was like, man, this nigga on meth? This is the sickest shit I ever seen in my life.
But it's
like, yo, meth is such a low-level drug. I be around tons of people, and I see them do coke. I see them do all kind of drugs in my industry. This is a sick place we live in Miami. There's drugs everywhere.
Every drug.
I ain't never seen nobody pull out no meth.
I ain't never seen a nigga party with meth. Unless it was in their pills mixed in, but that's you not knowing. I ain't see a nigga go order meth.
I ain't never seen nobody.
Let me get a 5-piece of meth with fries.
How you...
At McDonald's.
Let me get a Scarface and a crystal of meth. Oh, I ain't never see that. And I'm like, damn, he got me. He tricked.
And we met him. You know, we met him in Overtown, and it's like, damn, we need to get behind. No, I'm not gonna say that. We need to support this.
You got behind him.
We need to support this guy. And it's not about me. It's look, whatever. But we need to support this. I might have to cut that out. But we need to support this guy. we need to support this guy because he's clean, shaven. He's on the go. He sounds like he cares about what we worried about. But then you find out all this shit be tricks again. And I'm not even speaking more to his personal life.
He didn't even use a good excuse.
Like, even
at a wedding? Why you not at a wedding with your wife? Who goes to weddings for fun as a guy?
But
as a bachelor parties, baby, wedding.
So that was
your wife is there.
That was my last time, just giving away a vote because I was black. I've not been on the blue team a long time, so I've definitely got my Naruto headband with the Democrat shit crossed off. I've not been Democrat for a long time, but I seen like
why you realize it's all a con now.
It's like, well, no, you don't give off your vote until somebody earn it. It's just that.
Right, and I think that's what people need to understand. Who got me?
Or who's you know, like people hate hearing lesser of two evils, but that's the thing. Like when I got to 2016,
we're an open state.
I got to the library ready to vote. It was Hillary and it was Trump. I spent a lot of hours laughing at Trump and I was thoroughly entertained. But at that moment, I said, I don't know enough to give my vote to him because I feel like y'all might be saying he's racist for a reason. I don't see it, so I'm neutral. Hillary has done a lot of things that I know for sure I don't agree with. For sure.
Yeah, it's like choose between.
Do I give her my vote for free because she's on the blue team? I don't.
Did you?
No, I actually did not walk in. I
didn't vote. I voted independent.
I should have did that, so I used it, but I didn't. I said outside.
I voted for other stuff. You know, it's like everybody like local stuff that matters, right? So I voted for Democrat for the mayor of Miami, but like, what is she doing? You know, I mean, you always and it's always people pushing you to vote for these people. Like certain other Miami socialites, they'll push you to vote for these people, and then as soon as they do something wrong, they criticize them. You know, and I'm not gonna name their names, but it's like that's why you have to do your own research.
It's scary because it seems like the people who got more control over our votes or whatever, it's just so blatant that they just take the shit and like, all right, like, you know, it's no fight for it. It's not even a concession. I'm like, all right, blacks gave us their vote. We going to at least get one thing off. They asked for 10 things. They don't even get the one off.
Because they don't have to.
They don't have to because they know they got your votes. They love, when y'all see them put hot sauce on some shit or go to Roscoe's, it's the greatest thing in the world. Once you open your mind up, it's like, bro, I don't need to see you eating in my hood.
We're in France.
I need to make some money. I need better health care. I need this.
I'm on 54th Street, 2nd Avenue. I'm coming down 7th Avenue to get to work, fighting traffic, right? Even though it says it shouldn't be traffic because everybody's dead, right? So
right.
I'm fighting traffic. I see a sign up. The sign says, vote like your life depended on it. I say, bruh, you know how many problems these niggas got around here? You think voting is number one? But that's how they got them.
Niggas got
switches. They running on fear. Like, vote like your life depends on. And I'm not saying Joe Biden should or should not. I don't really give a shit. It's all the same.
Joe.
He could win. He could not win. All I know is whoever in there, I'm going to make fun of him, right? Whoever. Because Trump was in there telling niggas to shoot Clorox in their arms, and Joe Biden don't even know what fucking day it is.
We had a great time, but one thing I can say is I'm not finna give you all the detailed politics shit because I don't play that politics game like y'all gamify it and just want to debate all day.
Because we not paid.
I will say this. The quality of living I had from 2016 to 2022, and I want to dig deeper and see what the facts are, but on the business side of things or how money was moving, even when I was with a company, shit was flowing better. His stance against China, him positioning himself against China. I knew that shit mattered. But seeing how Joe Biden dealt with China, you can see a clear difference. You see how it affects us. You see why everything is up during Christmas time. This probably was the worst Christmas for people who wanted to celebrate this year ever because if your toys ain't up, the food you eating all month from November to December is taking away what you can enjoy Christmas with.
You still can't buy a PS5.
Still can't buy a PS5. Bacon costs $10.
Shouldn't be eating no way. I hope it
that might be a blessing in disguise.
I hope it costs $100 motherfucking dollars. I'm tired of you niggas eating that goddamn salted fucking ass of a wild boar sitting inside of a pig pen. Salted.
It tastes good, but so what? You know what the shit doing to you on the flip side. But it tastes good. Does tasting good matter more than not being able to?
It's other ways though.
You see some people who 55. If you ever like worked in a job where you see somebody who's healthy at 55, the person you keep mistaken from being 40, and you see the nigga who's 55 that you think 67. Think about some of the life choices they probably made. I don't think he had a free ride into being a young looking 55-year-old.
Correct.
But the other guy may have taken the complete pleasure route, and look where you end up at.
My friend, my real good friend, he was on your brother's podcast with me. His dad is like 60. He still competes at CrossFit Games. Vegan. Don't eat no meat.
Will to live.
Will to live. Everybody don't have that. I have family members that didn't have it. I wish they did. Everybody don't have it. This man's trying to turn the clock back. Because you know, when you're 60, you got more time behind you than you have in front of you. So what can you do? A lot of people watching it like, what can I do? What can I do? Stop eating the shit you eat. Please. That's the hardest. I harp on nutrition so much because it's the hardest part of health to me. Because if I got a pizza right there and a salad right there, goddamn it, I want a pizza.
Naturally.
Naturally.
Smell better. More appealing.
Better.
under the right circumstances, you're healthy. Your body craves sugar and salt for certain reasons that you should indulge in every once in a while, but not all the time.
But when you eat 4, 5, 6 slices of pizza, or when you go eat one salad, you tell me how you wake up feeling in the morning next day when you eat both of them.
Or liquor, drinking before you go to sleep at night. I'm getting a little older. You know, I look younger because I'm taking care of myself. But I will say this now, clear as day, since I've been fasting, moving on a more healthy, holistic life. When I do casually drink, the only time I have a bad morning is when I drink.
Right.
The only time. Nothing about my life, yoga, eating whole foods.
It slows everything down.
Nothing about my life makes me wake up and not enjoy my morning except some of the vices.
It's poison. Absolute poison.
But it takes some distance to see that sometimes.
Correct.
Because you get rewarded. Oh, yeah, when I get on this oil, I can snatch anything walking in there. That's your reward. Plus the feeling of being drunk. So you bombarded with all the good things about liquor.
I went to FAMU, so we had the oil spill. It was wow.
Very nasty.
You know how drunk we used to get? I was there with y'all, man. I'm not here to point fingers. Trust me.
Right.
I've been there. Oil spill, pig feet, hot sausage, the worst of the worst. But you gotta come up and understand that once you know better, you have to do better. And if you don't do better, don't try to put no fucking vaccine in my arm.
It's almost like, now I'm gonna get back on my spiritual hippie vibe. It's almost like life turned the seriousness up on you ×3 once you aware. When you ignorant, it just let ignorant people just do their thing. You'll see a nigga who eat fucking bullshit and drink liquor all day, and this nigga got a 6-pack and all this shit, but he might not know that. It seemed like life know when you aware, oh, you trying me now. Okay, go out and drink 2 o'clock in the morning again. Watch what I do to your ass.
Nobody know how that nigga got that 6-pack though.
Well, again, you understand biology.
He might not have a fucking car.
It's a lot of genetics and shit that go into that. So it's never trust anybody about their body's result and yours. You have to know your body. Going back to what
you do. But if you know the science, people love science. But people love to say science, and then when you talk about BMI, they say that ain't science no more. They like to say, well, that's a racist thing. BMI is racist, and high blood pressure medication is racist, and we live in food deserts. Well, nigga, if you know we live in food deserts, plant a fucking seed in your backyard.
Can we make a new rule? I'm not just going to say black people because I'm on black Twitter, so it'd be more of that. It's a lot of white people doing this shit. It's a lot of every race doing this. Don't fucking mention science to me if you're not a scientist.
Don't mention
science. And we both not scientists. Let's just argue on the level of niggas who not scientists having a debate. But don't fucking try to shame me with science because you literally don't know what the next person know, and you arguing somebody else's point, and I can embarrass you.
Look, I leave it.
One of my closest friends is a doctor. I do my own research, not research from CNN or MSNBC or Fox. Straight, neutral, boring ass research.
CNN will never have me on.
We already know we not going on there.
They'll never have me on. I got a homeboy, he go on the news all the fucking time. He got mad at me. Well, he ain't get mad at me.
Nigga, in the metaverse, we ain't gonna need that.
We in the niggaverse like Freddie Gibson.
We going to the niggaverse. Y'all niggas in the Carl Thomas, I wish I never metaverse. Crying in that bitch. The metaverse we going in is the real nigga metaverse. We own some gangster shit, but we'll cross that line because we had the infancy of that shit. But look, should we keep going to closing remarks? We're going. What's the time step, Joe?
We got hour 20 right now.
Oh, you want to go over that last before the fresh and fit niggas?
You want to?
I just want to say my piece on this.
Let's do it.
Well, I'll start off. I don't know y'all niggas. I'm not hating on nobody. There's good in everything and bad in everything. So it's probably some good for niggas what y'all doing, or people, or maybe it's whatever the case may be. That shit would never cross my timeline without you doing that to who they did it to. So I would have never known.
Well, what are you talking about what they did, though? You talking about when they said they don't like black women or when they kicked the chick off the show?
Well, that's what opens. See, this is the thing. How shit works, when you go for that shock value shit all the time, right?
It come back. It's
never the shit that should get you canceled. All the niggas who defend him keep saying, well, this is the show format. Yeah, I get all that. My personal philosophy is, and I'm not one of you niggas that pander to black women, but I will say this as a man and who loves my mama. You can't disrespect a black woman in front of me.
The thing about
and that's me not being on the pandering shit. I'm like, for real. Like, I don't play that. And not even just black women. If somebody's Spanish grandma is behind me in the store and you're doing that, I might boot up too. I don't play about that kind of disrespect to women when I know it's coming from a man who's in a position to not be able to do that to me, but I see you taking it out on somebody who you don't feel is as strong as you. You know what I'm saying? So
It's an odd dynamic with that, with content creation, because nobody cares if you don't say some wild shit. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. Prior to this, did you know about them?
Well,
you knew of them.
I knew of them beefing with 2 other podcasters. You know what I'm saying? So everything has always been beef, misogyny, depends on what levels. Because sometimes the shit they do is corny, but then, they're not kidnapping women to go on the show.
Right. Women show up.
Yeah. So
willingly.
It can't be that bad.
Right. And I don't watch them, but I've seen clips, and I'm like, every time there's a clip, it's like them, because the clips are what goes viral. The clips are what create the content, right? The short form content of them saying some wild ass stuff to some woman. Nobody cares to say some wild ass stuff to a guy, because that has to end in a fight.
Are they saying wild shit to guys?
Because they're not inviting guys. We're not inviting multiple guys. They invite one guy.
Well, most of the niggas that come on either like feel like they homies, or maybe in a position of where they're bigger.
They invite one guy who has a platform that is some form of masculine, because they even had Ack on that shit.
They have Ack on there. They have Adam and his boys. Adam team they wild, but it's like
they had multiple dudes on there, and it's like, okay, well, they're gonna say some masculine stuff or some stuff that people may feel like, alpha. I don't like to use these terms and high value, all this other bullshit.
You don't have, if you're a real alpha, you don't have to tell niggas you're an alpha.
I never call myself a high value man. I never call myself that shit.
Every nigga I hang around is a high value nigga, because my circle got to be made of niggas like that.
You call yourself high value, you high value. So be it. I don't give a shit. But back to what we're saying. It's all semantics and trigger words, and we talked about this earlier. BS words that people don't even use in the real world. But this is what they have to do. This is why we're talking about them now. You have to say some wild, stupid shit to get people to talk about you. This is why Kanye said slavery was a choice. And it's the thing, and that's one of the main things that people hate on Kanye for. Him saying slavery was a choice, even though they are willingly turning people in for not being taking the same medicine they did. They're willingly doing other things like that. I'm not saying that's slavery, but what I'm saying is it is a choice to choose to align with the systems or the programs. But especially when people say they hate capitalism, they hate things, but they love Big Pharma. How the fuck you hate capitalism and love Big Pharma?
I would say this.
The biggest fucking capitalists out there. How much they made?
You gotta be, well, fuck that. Because we already know what's up with that. But I would say this. When you say shit like that, you gotta be willing to stand on everything you said. We done talked about some touchy subjects to people, but these are shit I'm willing to stand on until you prove me wrong. And if you prove me wrong and show me something different, I'm willing to change. I ain't crazy. But it wasn't the Asian doll situation, because you can argue.
You know these niggas?
No, I don't know. But
where they from?
They live in Miami.
Where they from though? They ain't from here. We ain't gonna never see these niggas.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because they not from here.
We would know
we from here.
These niggas.
We was in Coco's.
We more familiar with the Asian dolls than them. Because matter of fact, when we was running the streets, we would have probably seen her first before we would have seen them.
Of course, these niggas would have been sitting in the corner.
When she talked, she sound like a girl I know from around here. You know what I'm saying?
So that's why you got that familiarity, but you also have to understand that this is
but look at it.
We are still in the niggaverse.
But I will also give them this. If that's the show format and they very particular with it, cool. But I can say that and say I'll never talk to no woman like that just because that's not something I do. Now, let's say, all right, we had an impasse. She violated the show rules, but I don't feel like niggas should be talking to women like that.
I don't feel like you should be talking to anybody like that, but you definitely shouldn't be talking to women like that. You don't have to say, get the fuck off the show. Bro, if me and you talking and you say, get the fuck off the show, I'm like, wow, this nigga want me to kill him.
Marshall, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't have to say talk to everybody like that.
Of course not.
Nigga walking there, I'm in there, 5'11", 200. You in there, you fucking actually do mixed martial arts. So niggas know it's a fucking consequence for talking to me any kind of way.
Right.
Matter of fact, if a nigga come in here and call all three of us pussy, I'm like, we got two decisions to make.
Right.
We beat this nigga ass or realize whatever he about to bring, he knows three niggas can't handle. Or he just crazy.
Or we can just walk away.
And we could walk away.
No be there. That's what
you get what I'm saying? But now, you do that, and you released the clip because you released it, and I love Black Twitter.
That's why we talking
They
about
gon' dig. Now they done found a crazy. Dog, I watched Adam22 and his homie. I can't remember his name. Not shout out this homie, but I ain't disrespecting you because they got a nice little thing going over there. I gotta remember his name. I watched Ack response. Ack is a fucking lowlife. You know he gonna try to defend it. When he seen that second clip and you seen that nigga face,
fucking clown because he almost got shot by a woman on there,
bruh. That nigga face was like, that nigga said he wasn't a night rider. That nigga Ack face was like, hey. You on your own. That's the part though. So when you go there,
everybody know you. It's certain groups you could attack. You could attack black men all day.
But that's why I said when I said what type of niggas the show reaching out to. Clearly these niggas been said that Night Rider shouldn't say shit like that, but it never went to anybody.
Yeah, that's wild. That is wild.
What did niggas
like,
say?
How did it's like I don't go in the dark or something like that.
We don't dabble in the dark. If you want Shaniqua's. I'm not a night rider. It's like, bro, that nigga came with the crazy disrespectful combo.
But it's like, when they said that, this has to be a conversation they had off the air prior to.
But then look at those type of niggas. They ain't never. All right, let's say there's a Shaniqua, which is a corny way to put that.
I hate that.
I dated 1 million of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't scared of them. I ain't scared of nothing that come with that. But look at what we working with. You know these niggas can't.
But you know there is a market for everything.
Excuse my term, but it take a certain stern nigga who understand what's going on to even deal with a hood chick or assertive chick or anything like that, because you got to be this for her to respect you. You may not dabble over there because you ain't got what it takes to dabble over there.
See, I'm not trying to defend him. You work, right? Mm-hmm. Prior to working for yourself, you was working for FPL. You go work all day long. You ain't trying to come home and fight with no fucking body. Right? So if the corny claim to fame is that black women create stress, as if, and see, this is going to come off a certain way, but all people create stress. How about that? Right? All niggas people create stress. Because I'm stressed when I watch motherfuckers say shit all the time. So if your spouse is creating stress, you can't just attribute it to the pigment of their skin.
But it's
that's unfair.
But it's like racism.
That's unfair because it's like, You dealt with one black chick and it's like, okay, well, this is what black women do. Well, you deal with one white woman and you think they just bow down to your feet? I don't think so. That's why we got fucking Karens.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily...
all white women aren't Karens. All black women aren't fucking Shaniquas. But it's like, if you find some shit in between, don't try to make it seem like one is going to automatically yield the perfect situation and try to shit on the other group of individuals.
But you a professional and I'm a professional.
And this is me being great. And I never do that. I'm always like in between. I got black women patients, white women patients, all kind of weird motherfuckers come in here and get adjusted by me. But, I'm not trying to knock them. But what I see is with these type of people, I've met niggas like this. And I've had conversation with them. And I'm like, yo, it's really people like this in the world.
Nah, yeah.
Because I hoop with people like this. I'm like, yo, like, why? You don't like black women? Like, nah, but I ain't all that shit. I'm like, like, nah. I'm like, all right, well.
But look what type of niggas these is. Oh, black women not submissive. Every black woman I done had, I'm not a type of nigga that have a dominant woman. So clearly some black woman is being submissive. I watched my mom, be submissive and not like a slave or nothing like that. But in the submissive that they talking about, I've seen it my whole life.
Even in terms,
you just ain't built for this type of energy.
Even
that
the
these
term
women
submissive is wild though.
Right, because even that self-proclaiming you an alpha, nigga, you don't have to call yourself what you is. You know what I'm saying?
I never call myself no alpha, but I'll call myself a wild nigga though.
Yeah, like we know what y'all trying to say falls in that category of alpha, but niggas can see that shit on you.
Right.
I ain't got a self-proclaim. Niggas know I've been trying to lead and do things and all that, and assuming them roles, winning, failing, all that.
I think that
proof is in the pudding, nigga. I ain't gotta tell you.
People think that alpha stuff, even like alpha females, like I recently had a run-in where an individual tried to come in and be an alpha female, or quote like that. But like, bruh, being a leader is not about being a fucking asshole or a bitch. Being a leader is about just being within them, being within the community, right? So you have to learn how to follow before you learn how to lead. That's in job, that's in relationships, anything. Right? Because I don't know everything, bro. I'll be the first to tell you about this shit. Like, my wife did this. I don't got nothing to do with this.
So what would you do in a situation of Fresh and Fit? You there? She came late. She talking over the conversation. You already have strict rules, but you ran, not him. What would you do?
Please, if you can.
Let's keep it.
I'm like this. Please, I'm with you. I'm on your team. That's what I tell all my patients, because I always have patients that come into my office on here on 292 Northwest 54th Street, MiamiSpineClinic.com. Always have patients that come in here, and I'm explaining them that they're living a horrible lifestyle and they need to change it. They eating pig knuckles and hot sausages at the barbershop. I'm like, yo, I'm on your team. I'm not trying to be combative, but we need to make a complete 180. We need to turn everything around. Please, for me, if you can. And I guarantee you get more bees with honey than you do with salt. And they delivering the salt because the salt goes viral, but the salt also come back.
So, okay, now let's speak in the frames of what the conversation is. It being a black woman. Why would you find it not necessary? This is what I'm trying to get to. Why would you find it not necessary to be aggressive like that? For one, I don't feel like I got to show that kind of dominance around women because either they get it or they don't. Either they for me or they not.
There's other ways to ask them to leave the show as well.
If I had to kick her off the show, you would have just seen cut to ad and Asian doll had to get out of here. You wouldn't even known that I kicked her off and nothing like that. Because
you said Rick Ross left. What's 85? He said I got used
the
bathroom.
I don't know the story would be. Maybe he was.
Nah, he said he got used the bathroom and he just never came back.
I don't think they ever explained. I got an idea why, but I don't want to speak on it or speak nothing on him that he don't, that ain't him.
Ross, Ross my people.
Ross that nigga.
Sneak my people.
Whole MMG breed.
I ain't got no problem with nobody, but he left for whatever.
Shit was just funny.
It was funny.
As of now, we can only take that as being funny because we don't know either side. Like,
but we've all done that before. They always say the best way to get off the phone with somebody is to abruptly hang up the phone.
Right.
And that's essentially what he did.
But I feel like
he hung up on them niggas in real life.
But he would want to talk to Carlos. He would want to. You ain't come up there to not do it. I feel like something came up or whatever the case may be.
You never know.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
I ain't got time to explain it.
And you see them boys ain't look at it like they tried them. It was funny. They took part of the moment. It was a viral moment, but they ain't look at it like, oh, fuck Ross and all that. It's just something.
Ross could have sat up there and talked about life and how all types of businesses, all types of other things. Him leaving made them go viral more than anything.
Right. And I feel like he going to come back because that's going to be an even bigger episode. Now we got to see what he didn't say. But just wrapping up the fresh and fit thing, it's different type of niggas. If you feel like you got to search yourself with a woman like that, you got a tribe of niggas that like, yo, that shit, whatever it is. But
it's a con. We in the metaverse.
If you feel like you was right that time, it opened the door to all the times where you shouldn't be saying the Knight Rider shit. That ain't even no PC shit. You shouldn't be saying that as no black dudes or whatever the fuck he is or one of them a black dude.
I don't know what the guy is. The other guy is. He looks like he's maybe Trini or Middle Eastern.
Yeah. I think he from Ireland though.
Yeah, I could see that. But it's like I don't see the purpose in downing black women, especially when they are in a delicate situation at all times.
Yeah.
Because it feel like they're not protected.
Do the whole Twitter know what kind of women you don't date?
They don't need to know.
Why we talking about shit I don't do?
They don't need to know.
Just like the hating shit with music and all that. Why we talking about shit you don't like? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to talk about you know what I like because I talk about what I like. Why the fuck would I be sitting here talking about I don't like this kind of woman because this then bringing all this negative shit that you don't even know is true across the board? Say the truth. That's where I'm at. Say the truth. Y'all niggas don't seem like niggas who get fucked with an Asian doll.
Malcolm X said the chicken came home to roost. Right?
Finally. Reap what you sow.
That's it.
But look, we're going to finish this conversation later. We're going to figure out how we're going to deal with this motherfucker. Either he's going to be a recurring host or he has his own show that's going to get canceled that I just come on as a guest, which would make more sense because he won't fuck up my bag. But we're going to figure it out. It's the Guns and Butter podcast. Go ahead and plug your shit. You already did 3 times already, but go ahead.
I plug it 15 more times. I ain't got no problem plugging right here. Dr. Randall Thompson at Miami Spine Clinic, 292 Northwest 54th Street, MiamiSpineClinic.com. Miami Spine is an Instagram. Miami Spine Rand is a TikTok. I'm blowing up on TikTok now. They gave me $35. Get monetized. $35.
You keep telling me to get on there.
It's over for y'all. Because you like to cook. You know how many people popping on TikTok just for cooking?
They don't love it like I love it, though. They trying to be something.
So imagine if you come over there with purpose and you put some rap music, you put your own rap music behind it. Your brother was over there making all kind of kicks and all kind of other stuff. He stopped though.
Well, I mean, content creation for real creatives, sometimes we get in that part where like, do I really want to do this or not? And the motherfuckers who find one angle they know they ain't got no choice but to do that. They gonna run that bitch into the ground. You
Well,
know
that's
what
why I
I'm saying?
slowed down on doing the podcast I was doing before because I didn't want to get canceled. Because I got a lot of opinions.
But now you got to get canceled.
That's the only way, huh?
We are, well, I don't want to do that. Everybody like to say what podcast they like. But we're in that Rogan vein of just owning what the fuck we saying. Not nothing to do with the podcast and all that. Rogan is a great podcast. But we, the
Rogan
niggas
don't own
that's...
everything because you said the N-word.
Look,
Look it up. Look it up, bro. Bro, I got it all. I don't like nobody. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, we going at fresh.
No.
We got to go at Rogan, too. We got to take them all out.
We ain't give him no pass for saying nigga. I just can't believe this nigga said nigga. So I got to see how he said it.
I can.
There's no right, like...
And that's not me hating. And see, the thing about, I don't hate. It's so many.
I need to know how I
There's
need
so
to
many
approach
white
it.
people that said the N word. It's like you gotta cancel them all. You can't watch
I
can't watch no TV. You can't do nothing. You can't buy shit.
I need to know what kind of energy to bring. Is it the, nigga, you a fucking idiot because I know what you tried to do, or, it's smoke with Rogan now?
I think it's more the first one.
Okay.
Because a lot of people try, like I said, most people that I ran into that are absent of pigmentation, Anglo-Saxon, they don't understand how to actually be funny like that, you know, and not be offensive to black people.
How I lose Rogan and Hov in one conversation?
I'm sorry, I did that. I always take things from people, and that's my fault because I like destruction.
When I go on Rogan, I'm going to break it up. And I'm going to say nigga a lot on his
You
show.
gonna be like, Joe, bro, why you say the N-word? Why you take ivermectin and say the N-word? So, nobody hates Joe Rogan more than the liberals right now because he's saying ivermectin. They hate the ivermectin shit. It's
But
like,
see, even in that, like you said, if we not on that, let white people do whatever the fuck they want to do. But let's say if it's something that I can be mad at and get over with. It's a lot more messages in there and shit that be coming on there that I can agree with and I enjoy watching.
Just like DeSantis.
Yeah.
We free.
It's a lot of motherfuckers say nigga too.
Oh, yeah. Especially in Miami. All the Spanish people. You got to kill them all. Good luck.
My first episode. I'm going to have to bleep that. But this your boy Rance. This your boy Ranso. This is the Guns and Butter podcast. First video episode, maybe the last because of this nigga. But we will start something on his platform to get him
Odoya
canceled.
rules.
Odoya rules. We out.
We out.
That was perfect.